All right, hey everybody, welcome back. Another newsfeed video here for you. Kicking us one off, GM might void your warranty if you delay over-the-air updates. Okay, it makes sense. It's pretty obvious, but they're even gone so far as they are putting it in the actual warranty watch. Here it says, new cars are like smartphones. Aside from seemingly less well-thought-out software, the modern car is an electric device connected to the internet like your smartphone, and your car will need over-the-air updates. Says GM Authority recently pointed out if you delay installing over-the-air updates on certain GM models for too long and something breaks it would have been affected by the update over the updating the software, GM might deny your warranty claim. Says there are stipulations here. It says GM's 2025 warranty booklet proclaims owner is responsible for ensuring that all Chevy provided over-the-air software updates are installed within 40 days of the software available to the vehicle. Damage resulting from failure to install the over-the-air update is not covered. So pretty serious. They're not playing around here. It says, weirdly, I kind of get why GM is coming from. Over-the-air updates are essentially part of maintenance. Your digital instead of traditional. If a driver doesn't go in for a recall fix and something happens, that's probably not covered under warranty either, right? So it makes sense. For what it's worth, if GM does screw up the new over-the-air update, any issues that were any issues there will expressly be covered under the new vehicle limited warranty. The booklet states in plain terms that if an over-the-air software update causes damage to the vehicle, the damage will be covered for the applicable warranty period that you have on there. So it's kind of important because that's why a lot of people don't do the over-the-air updates. They don't want their truck shutting down again. They don't want the battery to keep dying. They don't want to play these games. They don't want to deal with it. They're like, it runs fine now. Let's just wait. Just like they don't update their computers or their phones. They want to wait and make sure that they're not going to wake up in the morning and every news article is about how this update ruined things for them. So we get that. Understand. But they do give you 45 days to do it. I would definitely get them done because it is part of maintenance. It also sounds like it's issues not addressed in the software revisions may still be covered under warranty so long that you can prove that they were not affected by this clause. So what they mean by that too is if you have an over-the-air update for your heating steering wheel and they're going to use that update for that, but you have a ball joint that goes bad, obviously they're not related and it's not going to be an issue. So that's what they're getting at. But it is still something that you got to dive into and take into consideration. Don't put these off because they can come back to bite you. And in this one, why do people idle the engines in diesels? Why do you see them do this? When you pull up to a gas station, you see somebody in the diesel, they pull in next to you, and then they just sit there in their car and they just wait a minute. They don't get out and start pumping gas. They don't move. They pull up to the pump, and then they're going to sit there, and it's going to be a minute to 2 minutes that they're just going to sit there idling. Nothing happens. And then after a minute or two, they turn it off, get out, and then they start pumping gas. A lot of people don't understand this. And we do it with our turbos as well, too. Turbos today, modern turbos, are actually liquid cooled, so it's probably not that big of a deal, but it's habits that die hard, and it's worth doing. So it says here, you may notice that diesel drivers tend to idle their engine after driving, typically when finishing a journey. Instead of switching off immediately, this action may seem lazy or forgetful, but there's actually a sensible reason behind it. Some of them will even leave the truck running and start filling up with gas in there and start putting gas in it while the truck is running. The primary reason why diesel drivers may choose to do this is to cool the engine down before switching it off. More likely among diesel drivers, as combustion temperatures within diesel engines are higher than that of a gas engine. Even though diesel engines do typically have cooler exhaust gases, the point isn't simply just to cool it down though, but to prevent avoidable damage from happening under the hood. Heat. Heat is everything. Heat is the problem. And the turbos and the engine, everything. Heat can cause all sorts of issues to an engine. Some diesel drivers worry about sudden drop in temperature causing exhaust manifolds to crack, for example. Although this isn't the main issue drivers are looking to avoid, instead, drivers are looking to avoid causing damage to the turbocharger. Okay? Then same thing with gas turbos. We still idle them down. Even though they're liquid cooled, we still idle them down. What happens when you let your diesel engine idle? Is that the temperature within the engine all cool down as they're under less stress. Running an engine at higher RPMs for a long amount of time can cause an awful lot of heat to build up. And idling can let some of that heat dissipate before switching off completely. Engine oil moves heat. That's what it does. And it lubricates and it moves heat. And if you just got done doing a long haul on the highway and all of a sudden you pull over and then you get off that exit, you go right to a gas station and shut your car off, there's no more heat or anything removing. There's no heat getting removed from your engine. It's all just went boom. It's like your air conditioner just turned off and all of a sudden now you're just sweltering right there and you just can't breathe. You're just heating up. That's exactly what happens to an engine. So here, the main reason they're looking to cool their engines down is to avoid coking with the turbocharger. Coking is the process in which heat within the turbo, particularly within the single shaft of the turbo, causes the turbocharger's oil level to sludge and or varnish behind. It leaves a mess, leaves sludge and varnish. It basically cooks the oil in there, and what the little bit of film that's on there, it bakes it, is what happens. This process can occur in all turbocharged engines, although most or all modern diesel engines are turbocharged, which is why idling may be associated more specifically with drivers of diesel vehicles. A turbo spins at high speeds in the realm of 300,000 RPM and at temperatures far greater than what other spinning engine components experience, which in turn causes coking. This sticky residue left behind can cause damage to seals within a turbocharger, in addition leaving behind abrasive materials which can cause damage to bearings. Even the most reliable diesel engines are susceptible to this kind of damage, especially if they've seen an erogenous use such as towing or hauling for long periods of time. Or a long, like I said, a long haul on the highway will do it too. Although allowing the engine to idle will allow the oil to cool and therefore reduce the risk of coking from occurring. It's especially recommended for diesel engines which have been running for a while or have been working hard. Just a minute or two of idling is all that is required. This will change everything. It is important. One of the more prevalent issues with idling a diesel engine, though, something you got to think about, is that if you idle diesel engines for too long, you will get carbon in the engine itself. In addition to turbocharger and exhaust system due to incomplete combustion, I highly think it's worth idling them down more than I would worry about any of the carbon buildup. However, in order to extend life of turbocharger, it is advised to let the engine idle for a minute or two after heavy use. Simple act could end up saving you a costly turbocharger rebuild or replacement. It is important. And you'll see, like I said, you'll see people do it all the time. And even if you have a gas turbo, I still think you should do it. Like I said, Tina ZR2, it's actually water cooled as well, so that should be doing it. I don't care. I just gonna do it anyway. When we're on I-75 or we're running down the highway and we do a long roll, when I pull off an exit, I'm gonna get gas right there. I'm gonna idle it down for a minute. I don't do it every single day. I don't do it when I run from here and drive 35 miles an hour over to Walmart and I park at Walmart. No, I don't care then. But when I'm running it hard down the highway or anything like that, and I come in quick to gas, if I'm gonna get gas, and I'm gonna be off the road and at the gas pump in 2 minutes and that engine is still that hot, idle it down. Hope that makes sense. Questions on this or on the over-the-air updates from GM or anything like that, let me know. Thanks for watching.